Hey everybody, Peter Vexelman here. I got one of my partners, Blaine Dartez, on the other side. Blaine, how are you, buddy?
Doing good, Peter. How are you?
So I'm doing great. So obviously the first question I asked him was like, dude, you're looking sharp. You're dressed up. I'm like, where are you going? And where are you going, Blaine?
So I'm actually a real estate agent as well, and a wholesaler and investor. So I'm trying to cover all bases. But right now I'm actually headed to a closing.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
taking care of
awesome.
that.
Awesome. So before we kind of get into specifics, talk a little bit about Blaine, a little bit about your background, your history, and what led you up into real estate and all that.
Well, that's funny. I was initially going to be an investor. Wanted to buy my first portfolio and get my first investment property, and things kind of took a turn for a totally different story. My wife had complications with a birth of some twins, and it left me high and dry. And talk about your back against the wall. And this was just the Christmas before last. So I lost my job. I did a lot of things happen. You know, we got turned upside down. I wasn't able to buy that first investment property, obviously. And I said, I'm getting into real estate one way or another. And I got my real estate license, and I started wholesaling houses right away. So that was about right at a year ago today, actually. So pretty excited.
That's awesome. So how many have you done wholesale?
Wholesale, I've done 27 transactions.
Man, that is fantastic. And how many on the agent side?
Agent side, I've done probably, I think this will be my 16th transaction. So the thing about it is too, though, there's a lot of systems to learn, you know, and being a wholesaler and an agent at the same time, it was just like systems and craziness. And I, was running around with sticky notes all over the place and really just trying to figure stuff out. It's been a whirlwind, but when you've got your back against the wall, you do what it needs to do.
And that is, that is exactly what I tell people. I mean, it's amazing how many times people get into this thing and they kind of tiptoe into it. You know what I mean? They're like, well, I'm going to try, I'm going to see. And then sometimes, I meet people and literally their back is against the wall, the same story. And I always tell them, and they never want to hear it. I'm like, that's awesome. I love that you're back against the wall. Now, when your back's against the wall, it's like, you don't want to hear that. But it is amazing what happens, right? When you have no other options.
That's exactly right.
And I will tell you, so literally you're a year into it and you got this many transactions behind you already?
Yes.
That's awesome.
I will say, it took me a lot of capital to reinvest into it to produce that many leads, know, and I'm trying to get my KPIs in order to where I'm actually being productive and efficient now.
Yep.
And finding the right tools and systems is crucial to being able to do that.
There is. It's how you leverage in this business. You leverage through money, you leverage through people, and you leverage through tools and resources. So talk a little bit about how you found us and what made you start looking for someone like myself and partner driven.
So obviously I've been doing a lot of transactions. On the wholesale on my side, the margins are very, very, very small,
right.
Mainly because of my area. And just getting started, typically, it might not be for everybody else, but I felt like I was kind of the bottom feeder, just skipping the else didn't want and really trying to negotiate those deals to where it was an investor friendly opportunity, but only, a couple grand, maybe 1, 2, 3, and really working my tail off for those small transactions. I've gotten into some better transactions and realized, why don't I just, find some private money or a partner and do this myself? Because that's what we want, right? If you're going to go through all these motions, then you might as well gain as much as you can. And on the wholesale side, you're running. You're doing the same thing as a flip, only you're not profiting as much. So I wanted to seek out private money, and I was doing some investigation, and I saw a YouTube ad with you guys, and I liked you, Peter. So I contacted you, went through some of your training, and I ended up joining the group. So it's pretty exciting.
That's awesome. So like for someone like you who, and it might not have been huge margins, but let me just tell you something. To do what you've done, Blaine, that is fantastic. So for someone like you, what's the biggest draw for someone like us? Is it the money side of it?
No, it's really the time put in per transaction, right? So I realized, I can either make one, two, three, four, at the most six. I've hit 10 a couple of times on a transaction, $10,000, right? I can double that or do even better by keeping it in-house and partnering with somebody, right? For funding. Still running around, still doing the same things. Better to produce that financial capital for myself and my family and a partner versus somebody else, and other people have different prerogatives. They might want to just do wholesaling. For me, I like to see the house flipped. I also have a vision where, I want to see the properties produced out of my own mind. I want to see the end. I want to have that sell. I want to make that property beautiful for myself.
Yep.
And then for others and for the community around me. And I want to have my name tied to that, right? I want to build an empire. And that's where I really want to go for it, and the legacy. So,
You know what I say, like what you just said, the way I kind of describe it, it's like moving up the food chain in this business. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's literally moving up the food chain. That's awesome. So talk about a couple things you got going on right now.
So my market's a little funny. I'm in a split market in Tennessee and Virginia. I do have a lot of wholesale transactions going on. I have a couple of transactions with you guys that are being approved. One that is, it was my first. It still is my first, and it's still in the works. But it's all about working with people, right? So this transaction is literally 2 months in the making. It was a probate situation. Probate's clear, but the people didn't get the title transferred into their name, right? So I've been helping the sisters that inherited the property go through that with the title company, with the with the county, get it recorded in their name. There's a tenant in it, so we're evicting the tenant. I'm helping them go through all these motions, for the payday at the end, right? And you're helping somebody get rid of a headache, and that's what it's about. And whether it takes 1 month, whether it takes 7 days, whether it takes 2 or 3 months, right? Put it in there, help them get the deal done, and then move to the next one. So, but yeah, got a couple listings, agent deals, wholesale deals, and then also fix and flip deals with you guys going on. So
that's awesome. I love the hustle. I mean, I talk about it all the time. Any day I'll take a hustler over somebody that knows too much. So that is absolutely fantastic. So final kind of takeout question, there's people like you looking to potentially partner with us, and they, like you, have experience. They, like you, have done deals. They, like you, may be licensed, and they're just trying to figure out, well, gosh, is this whole thing worth it? What's your feedback to them?
Well, look at your profits, right? Is it going to produce more partnering with somebody if you don't have the financial capital yourself, without having to take with taking zero risk, right? And then as an agent on this side, I can, I get the listing side of it as well once it's redone, and bang, bang. So it's a double whammy kind of deal, If you've got the funds yourself, fantastic. You're still taking the risk. If you don't have the funds, then, partner with somebody, double, triple, quadruple that capital income whenever it comes in after the flip. And then you've got zero risk, because really at the end of the day, the risk thing is a big leverage deal, right? And that's what attracts me the most. I don't have to take the risk to get the property. And I'm not saying I'm not going to do my numbers and due diligence and make sure it's a great deal.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, that's a big thing. It's a really big thing. So as long as you get the systems right and get everything down, roll smooth. That's what's really attractive about it to me. So
cool. Well, listen, I appreciate it. I know you're on your way to closing, so good luck there. Go get that closed. Let's get some more deals done with us. Blaine, I appreciate it, buddy. Way to hustle, man.
Great.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, Peter.
Thank you. Be careful.